Well, hello everybody and welcome to a little bit of real talk with your friend Tom. So, as you all know, I spent the first 2 days of Universal Studios' grand reopening post the coronavirus at the Adventura. I had a chance to do quite a bit of what I think most people would consider the must-do things at Universal. I have absolutely no notes in front of me. I am going 100% off the cuff here. And yes, the real talk has come out before the vlogs for a few reasons. One of the main reasons being that I think it's going to be important to preface the vlogs. I think it's important to know exactly what you're going to see when you see these, because they're not going to be my atypical kind of vlogs. What I immediately found was that I wasn't in the creative zone I had been able to find myself in even at City Walk, but especially Disney. And I'm not sure how much that has to do with my initial experience there. So I have to give credit to all the team members at Universal Studios. I want to start off with that. They're all fantastic. They're super duper good at what they do. But there is a fundamental problem over there in terms of how things are handled. Everything from Express Pass to how you enter the park. A lot is just fundamentally flawed. I want to preface the vlogs by saying, and the real talk I guess, by saying that I understand that I went to a place that is reopening, that is going through something where they've probably lost staff and had to retrain staff, new staff, changing their protocols. But those things I actually didn't have a problem with. I think that the things I have a problem with are probably there all the time, especially from the conversations that I had with team members. So let's start with the good, shall we? It was fantastic. Beyond words, fantastic to be back in a theme park again. To be able to walk around in that different type of environment where people are having a good time and some people aren't having a good time, but there's just excitement in the air. You know, the emotion is high. Your emotions are running higher when you're in these places because they are just to the next level of what life usually is. There's usually not all this food around and all these rides around and all these people and characters and the shows. It's like that's not what normal life is. So for somebody like me, who my normal life has now become theme park life, it was very, very good to be back in a theme park. I felt better in a lot of ways than I have in months. Being able to ride something like Jurassic Park within my first few hours of being there really was incredible. It's a ride that I love. It's something that I grew up with. Not only the movies, but that ride in particular is something that I have been on 40 times, if not more. Most people need to remember that I was a Universal dude for a long time. When I was a kid and I was a teenager, that's all I wanted to do was go to Universal. I've been on the Hulk more than most people have in their entire lives. So just because I haven't done this stuff in 12 years doesn't necessarily mean anything, because the things I found were that the best things there are the 12-year-old things, the way older than 20-year-old things. Most likely, it was better before. Universal seemed to me to be better before. it had more heart. The amount of screams that you have to deal with at Universal should instantly make you realize, like, with what kind of like an undercut experience you're about to have. The 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 point of some of these rides is literally to just move you from screen to screen. It is so lame. Thank God for a ride like Jurassic Park that's there. With the animatronics and the boat ride and the thrill of the drop and the story. Thank God that's there. The King Kong ride, although it used screens, was one of the better uses of screens that I've seen. And the huge payoff at the end, the Kong animatronic is truly remarkable. Truly. Maybe we should just go land by land. The Hulk continues to be one of the most outrageous roller coaster experiences you can have in Orlando. I mean, the thing throws so many G's at you. I came off of it and I felt like jello. Like Everest makes me feel like, woo, you know, a little bit. But especially because the heavy G's, I think you pull a G and a half on that downward slope. Hulk is throwing those things at you for like 5 minutes straight. You're just getting... It is great for what it is. Because you cannot replicate that kind of sensation. Like, you feel, coming off of that for a guy like me, like, the older I get, I feel, like, concussed. Like, not in a bad way, but, like, in this way that, like, I'm thrown way off of how I usually feel. And I'm not afraid of feelings like that, you know? Like, you know, I'm very comfortable outside of my normal feeling. So, I was very cool with that. I was like, whoa, this is dope. It was how I ended the entire park experience that I got on Hulk. The goods. Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Rapids continues, again, I'm going to keep saying this, continues to be, because old things they continue to be so much fun. Never in my life have I gotten as wet on it as I did. I literally, it's great. It's some of my favorite parts of what I shot, and thinking about it just kind of makes me want to edit the first day, especially. Yeah, that was really funny, like, super funny stuff, like, good time, you know, good time. Being that wet caused a few problems, though. You know, there's a reason that Disney doesn't let you get that wet. Kali River and Splash, you are probably not ever going to literally feel like you took a shower. I've gotten as soaked on Kali as you possibly can get, and I didn't have the kind of problems I had getting wet on that, like Dudley Do-Right. My body, I mean, I was so wet I could wring my pants out. And so, like, my underarm, where my backpack is, that I haven't worn in months like that with all the camera gear, oh, it cut into the bottom of my arm. I mean, thank God it all kind of just took care of itself with some just Gold Bond and stuff. Gold Bond, huge tangent, bring Gold Bond to the parks. I think it's, like, the most helpful thing there is, because, like, your feet or your in between your legs when you're super wet like that, or your armpits, things that are very close together. Like, some people, I've even seen, like, the back of their knees and stuff. Like, you know, you can really kind of rash up because theme park water is not super clean. So bring some Gold Bond and, like, try to dry off as much as you can, and then Gold Bond those areas, because the preparation of the Gold Bond is, like, it's undeniable how much it helps, truly. So I had fun, but it did create a few problems for me. I did not ride the bilge barge rafts, I believe is what they're called, the Popeye stuff. I want to, you know, there are parts of it that I do want to go back with. So again, this is all the good here up front. This is going to be a kind of a longer video, but like, it's my neighbors bumping their music. I love my neighbors, dude. Crazy. That's amazing. I'll just edit this out. Yeah, so I just edited out my neighbors driving up and down the street with their music. They're cool people, but they like to party. I did not ride the bilge barge rafts, and there is something that I want to do over there. I want to go back to the Wimpy cheeseburger spot. That was like it looked like it'd be so cool because I liked Wimpy. You know, I liked Popeye growing up, so like to go over there and ride that and then dry off like in the hot sun while eating like one of those cheeseburgers, which I'm assuming have got to be pretty good. Like that would be something that would bring me back for sure. J Park would bring me back. The Kong ride would bring me back. Hulk would bring me back. So we're talking good stuff here. The Raptor encounter, unluckily for me, that's going to be kind of in the bad part of this video. So look forward to that, I guess, if you're looking forward to the kind of me going off about Universal, because that is going to happen. I really enjoyed Harry Potter, of course. Everything about the Harry Potter stuff is cool. The Forbidden Journey, I did not ride it because years ago I rode it, and it does to me very much so what Star Tours does to me. Old simulators, they don't kick my butt like the Hulk. Like, they make me sick, and I'm not doing that. Like, I like feeling kinds of different ways, but I don't actually want to feel sick to my stomach. That's not something that's comfortable to, like, try to adapt to, like, when you're in a theme park, you know? Especially if you can't really shake it for a while. So I wasn't sure what that would do to me. I will go back and I'll ride it at like the end of the night or something, and I'll see how it does. You know, it's something I haven't done in years. But if it did something to me back then when I could ride anything a bunch of times, then I'm assuming that today it would not really float my boat. Or maybe they've upgraded it where there's blowing a little bit of wind at you to simulate, because the wind is such a huge thing. If you go on Falcon or if you go on Flight of Passage, you'll notice that wind that's always blowing at you to simulate the movement, not just like that you're moving, but you feel like you're moving. That's very important to, and they developed that for a reason, because there's so many people like me that can't ride old simulators for that exact reason. But I could ride Flight of Passage literally from day to night, and I have done it 4 or 5 times in a night, you know. So yeah, I did not really do the Forbidden Journey. I didn't do much in Hogsmeade now that I think about it. Oh, I did ride the little Hippogriff ride. It was the first coaster I had been on in 4 months, and I definitely had a good time on that, cracking myself up. Fun little ride. Like, superior to Barnstormer, that's for sure. If you ask me whether I'd have Barnstormer or that, I mean, I'd take both. I'd like both, but that was it's a more complete coaster in a lot of ways. The wand experience is definitely going to get me back. I mean, we can talk about that. I could make a whole video on that. And I will deep dive at the end the Harry Potter stuff, because that was the real good. The Hogwarts Express was also fun, and Hagrid's, we'll talk about that at the end too. I loved going back to Poseidon's Fury. Fantastic experience. Very good. Stands the test of time. I tried to eat at Mythos twice. They were full each day. Next time I'll go back and make a reservation immediately in the morning, and then try to get in later in the afternoon for whenever the callback is. So that pretty much does it for the Islands of Adventure side. Seuss Landing, I ate the tots. I ate at Green Eggs and Ham. I had the pizza tots. They were on par with Woody's Lunchbox. I think I still prefer the tachos, because the chili and the cheese is kind of better for for the tots than the pizza. But they were fine. And honestly, I'd go back there and I'd have the buffalo chicken, and I'd have the I think it was like a hash, and there was like a s'mores thing. I think I'd go back to that place a few times and try it all, because the menu was so tight at that place. And I loved that about it. I was like, wow, this menu, tight. I'm such a foodie. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. You could knock this out. Like, say you did it. Easy. Done. And it looks like a permanent kind of menu. So, very cool. I rode the Cat in the Hat ride. It was the only dark ride I think I rode. And it was okay. A lot of old looking stuff in there. It felt very, like, even pre-Mr. Toads or, like, Snow White's Scary Adventure. It felt so OG. Like Small World in a lot of ways. Like, very basic, but doesn't have that pop or vibrance of Small World either. So there you go. If I'm touting Small World on something, you know that something's going on here. To the Universal side, it was good. I didn't ride so many things. Universal, I barely really did anything. Jimmy Fallon did not do it. Rip Ride Rocket did not do it. The Minions ride didn't do it. Transformers didn't do it. I did like nothing over there. Didn't ride the Mummy. I didn't. Yeah. Oh gosh. That's incredible to think. I don't think I rode a single ride in Universal. Is that even true? I'm trying to rack my brain here. I think I really just kind of utilized it as, oh, of course I did, because that's where the Gringotts ride is. So Gringotts was the one thing that I prioritized in Diagon Alley, and I could have ridden other rides, but I decided that, like, Diagon Alley, so now we're into the Harry Potter stuff. That's what really blew my mind. I had a few moments there where I felt shocked in the level that I feel all the time at Disney World. They happened during, definitely when I went into the candy shop, it's Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is amazing, beautifully themed. That goes into a Quidditch shop, which is beautiful and amazingly themed, and goes into, not Honeydukes, the Candy Cauldron, beautiful, amazingly themed. I bought candy there twice, both days. I was in there and I was talking to the team members, which again they're incredible, really amazing people. She was like, "Oh, I had the Porg." Those guys will see I had a shirt that was a Porg, and it says Porg in big red letters, but it's Jaws, the poster for Jaws, and it's a big giant Porg where Jaws is coming up to eat the girl. It's a great shirt. I've got so many compliments on that shirt the first day. They were like, "Oh, we love your shirt. Did you know that Jaws has like some stuff related to it down at Dorgan and Burke's?" So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'm like, "Where's Nocturne Alley?" You know, like I didn't know that Nocturne Alley was even here. They're like, "Ooh, it's kind of hard to find. Do you want us to tell you?" Or like, I'm like, "Yeah," because like I could barely find Diagon Alley again is so tucked away and like so cool the way they did that. She told me, and I went down Nocturne Alley. Oh my god. It was like walking into Pandora. I was like, wow, this right here, this is something cool. It's tight, it's small, it's very quick little thing down there. It's nothing to do, but like if you just appreciate being in the sense of transportation in theme parks, like that's some serious stuff down there. I had a great time. And Diagon Alley was fun as well. I went to the ice cream shop. I took a lot of good B-roll. I hung out. I just kind of checked it all out. I saw people doing their wand stuff everywhere. Very cool. Can't wait. Like, I'll definitely go back and do that eventually. But yeah, the Gringotts ride, it was okay. It was good. It had a few cool moments to it, but on the whole, yeah, I was just like, all right, like yeah, I did it. You know, it was done. So yeah, I would definitely, if I went back, there are definitely things I need to do. Finishing up the good part here, there are a lot of things that I would look forward to doing, and I think that's the most positive thing you can say about going to a place, that there are things that if I just kind of narrowed them down and took it a little less seriously on myself to get things done, that I would probably enjoy a bit more. So I will be going back to Universal Studios. I will get the wand. I will do the magic. I will eat in the Three Broomsticks. I will eat at the other place. I'm fully planning on getting my hot dog that I didn't manage to get. Going back to the Jurassic Park place. Like, there are things that E.T. Rip Ride Rocket. I'll be back. Now the question kind of becomes, when? Like, would I go back? And this is where I'm having a lot of struggle. I mean, my first kind of instinct is that I want to go back pretty much immediately. I'm thinking that I will try to go back in the third week of this month. Because I believe that the way that it works is that my park ticket that I had a couple extra days on it, and I can utilize those and then really just kind of be a happy camper. I have Volcano Bay this coming Sunday with a cabana, and I'm going to bring the GoPro. It's going to be a GoPro only vlog day because I'm not bringing cameras to a water park. I think that would just be foolish. And yeah, I'm going to try to order a wrist strap off of Amazon Prime, get it in quick, and see what kind of footage I can get. And then I'll have done the 3, and I'll go back in the third week and try to get those things that I didn't do done. And then by the time Disney opens, I will have been able to say that I got a real full Universal experience. And I will do a follow-up real talk then, right before Disney opens, in about a month. The vlog will be edited. I'm not sure when. I think I'm going to put this up today, Friday. And I'll probably do the editing over the weekend. My goal is to probably have the vlogs both ready to rock for Sunday night and a scheduled upload for both Monday and Tuesday. Starting Wednesday or Thursday, I will be doing another 7-day food challenge at Disney Springs. Tight videos, shoot edit uploads of the quick service options over there. So that's what you have to look forward to. Now into the bad. I'll mark that in the comment, pin the comment, 22 minutes in if you want to really just hear the bad. So when I got to Universal the first day, I tried to get my ticket. I had it planned out perfectly. I was literally there at like 7:57. 3 minutes to scan my ticket and get in at 8 o'clock. Like, I planned it perfectly. I was up at 5:30 in the morning. I was in the Adventura, room stuff dropped off, ready to rock. By 7:57, I hit that thing. It wouldn't accept my confirmation code. I go to the back will call, where there is a line that is like, let's call it 10 people deep or something like that. There's one girl back there running the whole thing, and she's dealing with like a family. And it has taken, I think at this point when I started getting a little bit antsy, it had been about 15 minutes of like, what is going on here? 15 minutes is like a long time. When you're looking at an hour of being in somewhere before everybody else, 15 minutes is a quarter of that time. So it turned into more like 40 minutes total. They eventually got another guy down there. It was this whole thing, Florida residency, how do you prove it? I'm like, Disney takes my bank statement. I'm just going to get a Florida ID here next month. My car has to get re-registered in November, so I have no choice. But, like, I didn't know at first if I was going to stay down here. This isn't like I'm in an apartment, I'll play a room, in a nice house, and I like where I'm at. But, like, I didn't know 100%. So I still kept the Rhode Island driver's license. So I'll get the Florida ID to avoid all this bull crap. But they wouldn't take my bank statement as my proof of residency. At first, I'm like, this is like crazy, guys. Like, I asked on the phone if I could do this. Like, Disney takes it. Like, what's the matter with this situation? They're like, okay. I'm like, do you want to, like, maybe ring, like, whoever your super boss is, And they did, and of course the guy's like, oh yeah, that's fine. You can take his bank statement. And they're like, So I wasted all this time for nothing. I get in there. And again, that wasn't their fault. That's just like how they were trained. And like for people to not know is fundamental. It's not their fault. They just didn't get trained, right? So I got in, saw some friends, saw some friendly faces, all the big names, very cool. Love all you guys. Thanks for doing what you do. I got in line for the Hogwarts Express. And then we got into the Hogwarts Express, and none of that even got us over to the Islands of Adventure side early, like it was supposed to. Like it got us there later than if I had just waited at the Islands of Adventure gate, most likely. So the the Hagrid's ride was all virtual queue the first day. So I jump on there, I get my return time for way later in the day because who knew about any of this stuff, right? And I got my return time for the Gringotts ride, which was like at 2 o'clock. So I was then like, okay, I kicked around. I got my frozen butter beer, very tasty, nothing wrong with that. I would definitely drink another one. I don't think it's like the greatest theme park drink that ever existed, but it is definitely good. Like, am I going to take that over a key lime Dole Whip margarita from the Poly or something? You know, am I even going to take that over like a Peter Pan float? I don't know, probably not. Like a Dole Whip float, like the creamsicle one, like there is some really good ice creamy type, floaty type things. And like, you know, you got Night Blossom and you got LeFou's Brew and there's like a million of these things, you know, they're all over the place. And Disney does them good, but the frozen butterbeer, it was very, very tasty. If that was in Disney parks, I would probably drink it a lot more often. I did the Hippogriff thing after that, which was, like I said, super good. Great to be on a roller coaster again. I went over to Jurassic Park, which was cool. The theming over there is fantastic. I went, kind of kicked around, and I saw the raptor thing. And, like, the little baby raptor. I was like, oh my god, like I have to get in line for the baby raptor. So I got in line for the baby raptor, saw some people that knew about the channel, chatted with them. Really cool. Thanks for talking to me. Ears to the Ear Magic was one of them, and the other people were just, they didn't have channels and stuff. But it was cool, like, to be out there in Universal and being like, oh, hey, Tom does Disney. And they're like, yeah, you know, I kept using the same line, like, probably 8 times that day. I was like, yeah, I'm in the wrong park, right? You know, I didn't know what else to say. It was just like, yeah, I guess this is. They're like, Tom does Universal? No, definitely not. From what I've seen so far. So we're in the ride for the Raptor thing, and apparently they rotate between the baby Raptor and the big Raptor. So they rotated to the big Raptor, and then there was some problem, and they cleared the line. And they were like, oh, you can wait a couple minutes if you want, or we don't know when it'll be back up. So I went down to the Jurassic Park ride. It went down. As I'm standing in line for it, I can see up to the Raptor line. The Raptor line's moving. I'm like, great. Like, comedy of errors continues here today. So, did J Park, loved it, recorded it. Great ride. Great ride. Can't wait to see what it looked like on the GoPro. Don't know how I'm going to edit it all up because you technically can't record these rides, you know? It's like Flight of Passage. You can't just put the whole Flight of Passage up. Even though I have. So maybe I will. I'll put them up. Who cares? I'll put the full rides up. I'm going to forget chopping around all that stuff. It's pointless. I'm going to. Yeah. That's just. I don't know why. I just had that little thought in my mind. So then I got off the J Park ride. I went up to the restaurant. And this is like the only perfect thing that happened. Is I walked up there at like 11:20. 7, 8, 9, and then boom, 11:30 they opened. So I was like the second, third person in. I got my food right away. Turkey leg and some corn. And I haven't had a turkey leg in a theme park in years, and it is plenty good. Very tasty. You probably need to be very hungry to eat the whole thing or have somebody to split it with. It was very good. I then went and tried to ride Hulk. Again, comedy of errors, locker, then they closed the thing. I wasted a couple bucks on the locker. I'm like, I had to run over. I went all the way back up to the Harry Potter thing to see that the Hogwarts Express can sometimes build like a serious queue, and it would have brought me back to the other side later than my like virtual return. So I hauled it. I mean, one of the hardest theme park walks I ever took in my life, from that to the other Harry Potter land in like, sorry, the camera cuts at a half hour. The thing built a queue and it would have brought me over. So I had a 12-minute walk, hardest theme park walk of my life. It was crazy. Reminded me of like the night with Tanya, doing the going all the way over to Batu from Italy in like 22 minutes. That was just as impressive. So I rode the ride, got my ice cream, and then the vlogs. You'll see the vlogs how they all panned out. The hotel was very nice that night. I enjoyed it. The room service was good. It did take a little while, but no big deal. They forgot my blue cheese. No big deal. Went down and got it. I don't fault little things like that. That's just basic, no big deal stuff. But it was very good. The rooms are super nice. They're new. I did not go up to the top of the Aventura, which I'm a dummy. It's my biggest regret. I don't know why I didn't just go up there just to get a little bit of B-roll or something. I just was so tired. And I was doing the live stream, just trying to catch up and talk to everybody because I just had such a weird day. And then the next day, I was up super early, packed it all, got it into the car, and it was just a stupid day. It was really just a genuinely stupid day. I got some Starbucks, jumped on that Hogwarts Express, got the early return time this time, got over there, and the line for the virtual queue stretched all the way into the Lost Continent. So I got in line for like an hour before I even got to the front. And then I had to do my bag. Another half hour. Then I got in line. Another, half hour. And then I was literally, 17, 18 parties away from the cars. Ride went down for 2.5 hours. So in total, I waited 4.5 hours to ride Hagrid's motorbike. And objectively, it was good. Objectively, good. Very similar in so many ways to things like Mine Train and Slinky Dog, even though the cart, I couldn't really tell if it had that same kind of motion or if it was just literally the I think it's probably more like Tron. None of us have really been on Tron unless you've been to Shanghai, but I'm imagining that's a lot like what Tron's going to be like. The theming to it was okay. There was some kind of story going on. Hagrid's creatures were loose in the Forbidden Forest, and we had to round them up or something. It was good. But here's the thing. I remember when that ride came out, I watched Tim Tracker's video, and Tim was like, "This is the best ride in Central Orlando." I was like, what? This dude's been on Flight of Passage. What is he talking about? So, it's not that, guys. It's not. It's just a roller coaster with some really cool elements. Intrinsically, by nature, what makes a good ride is the feeling that it gives you when you get off of it. So if for you that's adrenaline, and that's what gets your kicks, okay. Go ride Hulk. Or ride Rocket. It's not as smooth. It's going to kick your butt even more. The adrenaline's going to be even more so there. The speed, the launches, the little drop, they were cool. Really cool elements. But that is not an e-ticket like premier attraction. You got to think that even when Tron opens, it's not Rise of the Resistance. It's not even Pirates of the Caribbean. What ultimately fails here for somebody like me, and this is why so much of this is strictly my opinion, is that I'm in Disney World every day. Walt Disney made a place that is unlike any other place, and the people that followed in his footsteps believe in that and take it very seriously. I don't know if Universal ever had that or if it will ever have that. When I posted this, whether I should put a real talk up or the vlogs, everybody was like, do both. We want to see both. There were some people that were pissed, for sure. There were people that were like, you know what, you're just hating because you want to hate and all this stuff. I don't hate ever just because I want to hate. I don't want to hate anything. That's the stupidest thing ever. I recognize things objectively and realistically for what they are. And a cascade of comedy errors like I had the first day and the experience I had the second day were not objectively good experiences compared to any day I've had at Disney World. So that's it. That's real talk. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button, comment down below, argue with me if you want. I'll be back, but there are things that it will never, ever, ever be Disney World. It will never even come close to being Disney World. Sorry. And for all you people who were worried that I was going to fall in love, all I can say, where's the Ronto wraps, baby? Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay sane. Disney will be open soon. Real soon.